Hello, welcome to another immigration art video. My name is Art Serratelli, and together with Mara Mijal, the two of us, we run the immigration law firm of Serratelli Mijal, PLLC. If you've got any questions, send us an email. Email is your best bet. We get messages by phone. We get messages by text. We get messages at the office on the phone through the receptionist. We get messages on my cell phone. We get messages through social media. We get messages through messaging apps, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. We ask that you help us collect all those messages and put them in email. And then we've got 4 people in email every day working through getting your question to the right person to get the answer as fast as possible. The topic of today's video is another development. It happened back in May, but it doesn't take effect until August 9th. It's another crazy Trump world development. This one is about, and I'm reading it right here off the internet and on all our social media postings. The topic is USCIS is changing the policy on accrued unlawful presence by non-immigrant students and exchange visitors. So let's break it down. Accrued unlawful presence. What's that and why is it important? Number one, by non-immigrant students and exchange visitors. Who were they? And then that's number 2. And then number 3 is, what is the policy change? And what's it mean for students and exchange visitors? So let's take a look. But first, you may be asking, why am I talking about this now if they announced it back in May and they are putting it into effect this month in August, on August 9th, 2018, August 9, 2018. Why now? Well, even though we announced this on social media, all over social media, and I mean wherever we are, we have a law firm page on Facebook. We've got my personal page on Facebook, and they are the exact same. If I'm a little creepy, I'm on a Hawaiian shirt kick. If you don't want to be my friend on Facebook, follow the law firm. So we're on Facebook in 2 places. We've got Google+, we've got LinkedIn, we've got Twitter, and we've got Instagram. And we posted this all over social media in mid-May. But since then, even more crazy Trump world developments took effect. One's been postponed, but they, quote, were announced. One's taken effect. And these things, the 2 things subsequent to May, caused such a stir. People are going crazy, including the Immigration Service. Trump is driving everybody nuts. This guy is no good. He's no good. Okay, so getting back to USCIS changing the policy on accrued unlawful presence time by non-immigrant students and exchange visitors. Here we go. Thing number 1. What is unlawful presence? Unlawful presence means the day you don't have any reason to be here anymore, the day you either overstay your allotted time here, or the day you break the rules of the status you are in for an allotted time. So you overstay or you break a rule that governs your status. Bam! You don't have a reason to be here anymore, and you start accruing unlawful presence time. Now, why is that important? That's important because if you accrue more than 180 days of unlawful presence, you know what happens? You will never, ever get another benefit from immigration again. Eventually, you will get deported. And they're not kidding around anymore. Now, why does this single out students and exchange visitors? Because students and exchange visitors are notorious for bending, breaking, not paying attention to the rules. That's why. Number 2, we're talking about unlawful presence for non-immigrant students and exchange visitors. Who are these people? Who are these people that the government is singling out? Well, here's the list. Here you are. If you are a F1 student or a J1 exchange visitor or an M visa holder, and not only you, but any F2, J2, or M2 dependents. You and all your family are under this new rule. So that's who's affected. F1, J1, M1, and F2, J2, M2. Okay? Number three. What is the policy change about unlawful presence, and what's the impact? Well, what's the policy change? And what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to read this memo to you from immigration. You could read the immigration memo. It's mid-May. Go look on our social media sites or go to the USCIS.gov website. You'll find it. But here's what it is, the gist of it. All right. In the past, students, they kind of break the rules sometimes. They kind of break the rules. You're supposed to take so many classes a semester, and sometimes students don't take the required number of classes. They drop a class, they flunk a class. If you flunk too many classes, another rule says you got to be making progress toward completion, graduation, completion from your program. If you are an 8th year or a 9th year bachelor's degree candidate, you're probably not making progress toward graduation. You're breaking the rules. If you don't pay your bill, if you don't pay tuition and the school throws you out, you're breaking the rules. If you work as a student, and I know nobody out there would deliver pizza for cash or do anything for cash, let alone do anything where the government can trace that you're working. If you drive Uber, you know what happens when you get paid by Uber? The company, Uber, reports your earnings to the United States government at the end of the year. Isn't that something? If you work and taxes are taken out, or you have to pay the taxes, but the company that pays you has to tell the government how much they paid you so the government knows how much tax you owe them. if you're working and you're not supposed to be and you involve the taxation authorities, guess what you're doing? You're taking a gun and putting it to your own head. That's what you're doing. Why? Because working without authorization is a violation. You're breaking the rules. In the past, if you broke the rules, you were given a second chance unless, and this I'll read, unless an immigration judge, or in certain cases, the Board of Immigration Appeals, or if an agent of DHS made a formal finding that you violated your status, then the date of those formal actions and decisions would start the unlawful clock ticking. What's the policy change? Let's guess. Let's guess. Do you think under crazy Trump world that the formal determination that you broke a rule of your status and therefore must accrue unlawful presence time, do you think under Trump he's going to want to wait for the agency, DHS, or an immigration judge, or the Board of Immigration Appeals to make a formal finding that you broke a rule? No, 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 no. Trump is now saying the day you break the rule, the next day, bam, you start accruing unlawful presence time. So guess what? If you break a rule, and say drive for Uber while you're a student, and nobody in the government catches it, and you get an H-1B after OPT, you get in line for a green card, and now they're just about to give you your green card, and it's all 7 years later, and someone in immigration checks with the 1099 department of the tax bureau, the IRS, and the IRS says, oh yeah, 7 years ago, this young man or this young lady, yeah, they drove for Uber. And they drove for Uber during the tax year of blah, blah, blah. Well, if the government agent about to give you the green card in the future determines that in the period of blah, 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 you did not have work authorization, or if you had work authorization but you were a chemical engineer and driving an Uber is not in any way related to chemical engineering, then instead of getting the green card because you broke the rules 7 years ago, you have been accruing unlawful presence for 7 years. And you're only allowed 180 days if you want the green card. So instead of getting the green card, you know what you're going to get? Deported. One more time. Instead of getting the green card, you know what you're going to get? Deported. And you know why that's going to happen? Because you broke the rules when you were young and you thought nothing. You thought nothing would ever happen to you. But it will. 7 years from the day you start breaking the rule, if nobody catches you, it'll come back to haunt you, courtesy of President Mentally Stable Genius. I need a Valium IV drip. What I need is to walk around with a constant supply of Valium delivered to my body on a 24/7 basis, because this president is going to drive me crazy. That's my message. Don't, if you're a student, don't break the rules. Please don't overstay. Don't work without authorization. Don't violate any other rules that the school tells you you must follow. View your International Student Office not as the enemy. They are not the enemy. Do not view them as the police. They are not the police. They are there to advise you. If you can't pay your tuition bill, if you're having trouble buying food, and you are in need of money, here's what you should not do. Go drive an Uber. You may never get a green card. What you should do is talk to your advisor. If you have to go home temporarily, go home temporarily. It's your home. Is it that bad? You don't, I mean, I know your mom and dad are there. The mom and dad, that's the bad thing. Oh, they'll treat you still like you're in kindergarten, right? Am I right? True? You could be a PhD and your mother will treat you like you're 5 years old. That's all I can tell you. Please take responsibility for your status. It ain't a joke anymore. It ain't funny anymore. Zero tolerance from President Mentally Stable Genius means exactly that. Zero tolerance. Don't break the rules. Please, one more time. Please, please don't break the rules. Take care. Be careful out there. We've got a mentally stable genius in the White House. Be careful out there. This guy is trouble.